Hi friends, it's Miss Mahan. We are going to do our chapter 10 math vocabulary. So what you'll need is a notebook or some paper and some type of writing utensil like a pencil. So I'm going to change the view so that you can see my notes, and then you're going to take your own notes, and at the end you'll add a photo of your notes. Alrighty, let's get started. So always when we're taking notes, we want to put a title up at the top. The title for this is chapter 10 vocabulary. It's important to actually write out your notes that you want to remember, because that makes it easier to remember. Your brain will process things faster if you actually physically write them out as opposed to typing it. So that's why I'm having you to do that. The first word that we're going to define is decimal. If you need to pause the video to continue writing, like if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, feel free to do that, so that you don't miss any words or examples. A decimal is a number with one or more digits to the right of the decimal point. So I'll give you an example, actually a couple examples. One example is 0.3. There's one digit to the right of a decimal, so that's a decimal number. 0.04. There's two digits to the right of the decimal point, so that's a decimal number. And one more, 0.59. Two numbers to the right of the decimal point. So those are all decimal numbers. The next one we're going to define is decimal point. A decimal point is a symbol that we use, and we use it to separate ones and tenths. That number is tenths, not tens. Tenths are on the right side of the decimal point. So an example, remember we're doing an example of a decimal point. So 0.1, the point is the example. It can also be used in money to separate dollars and cents. So here's one example. The point is our example, 1.25. Okay, our next word is tenths place. Remember to put that TH on the end of 10, because it's not tens place, it's tenths place. Tenths place, the first place to the right of a decimal point. Give you an example. .1, this is 1/10. Another example, 0.4, this is 4/10. One more example, 0.8, this is 8/10. Number 4, let's define hundredths place. Hundredths place is the second place to the right of a decimal point. So we're going to have two digits. The first example, 0.01, that's 1/100th. Another example, 0.04, it's 4/100ths. And one more, 0.08, that's 8/100ths. Next, we're going to define decimal fraction. Decimals and fractions go together. They can be related. So a decimal fraction is a type of fraction that has a denominator Remember, a denominator is the bottom part of a fraction of 10 or 100. So a few examples for a decimal fraction would be 60/100ths, 9/10ths, or 26/100ths. I'm gonna move my notebook up a little bit so make sure you guys can get the last two. We only have two more. Number 6, we're going to define tenth. So not tens, not 10th place, just tenth. 1 of 10 equal parts. We're gonna draw this example and the next example. It's okay if it's not exact for this because this is just your notes, as long as you know that in real life, for it to be a tenth, the parts have to be equal. So I'm gonna draw a box and then we're going to make it into pieces of 10. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I need to add one more, 10. Let's count them, make sure we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a tenth would be one of these parts. So we'll color in just one of them. And last, we're going to define hundredth, not hundredths place, just hundredth. So a tenth is one of 10 equal parts. What do you think a hundredth is? Of course, it is one of 100 equal parts. We're going to draw another example. Okay, let's draw 10 lines going the same way that we just did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and squeeze in one more. 9. Okay, make sure we have 10 going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 parts, but we need to make it 100. So we're gonna do lines going this way now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my last one is way bigger than the others, but like I said earlier, that's okay. We can make it shorter in just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna erase this bottom part so that they can be a little closer to being equal. Just like that. So 100th is one of these parts. So we'll color in just one of these little boxes. Okay, those are your chapter 10 vocabulary notes. I want you to copy this, take a picture of it, and then add it to your assignment on Google Classroom. These are my finished notes, so this is a lot like what yours should look like. I'll be looking for you to number your terms, underline your terms, and include examples of each.